what do you think of past lives? You gotten into that?
That's my favorite topic. That's my
Let's talk.
favorite topic, and
Let's talk.
it's a little bit it's a topic that is controversial because one, most people's knowledge of past lives is Brian Weiss's Many Lives, Many Masters, and that is not surprisingly I mean it diverges far from Torah concept. And the little bit that I have studied has added so much color and meaning to my life that I would love to go there. I would love to go there. So just a few, I'm just going to put, sort of speak to a few of the things that I know for sure. Or please correct me if I'm wrong. One of the things I know for sure is that we are the same gender for the most part through every life that we have. If we come back as a different gender, generally there's a glitch in the process of being reborn for a certain specific reason that we need to learn. The second thing that I know is that we don't have a multitude of hundreds of lives like Buddhists believe and like others believe, but we have maybe a handful, give or take, and that really, really adds a tremendous amount of purpose to each life we're living. Because when I used to think that we've had hundreds of lives, then for me there was like, well, what's the point? Let's just live it up this one, and then we can come back in the next one, and we can try harder then. But then it adds purpose. You really want to try to get it right this time. And then there were the different layers of what happens once you move on as a soul that was very interesting to me. Whether it was the what happens, I don't want to say the terminology because maybe it's a little bit like the beating in the grave, which is kind of the first stages of that. It's like carpet cleaning where you beat the carpet and get all the stuff out. But all of that was very interesting for me too, because there was such a rhyme and reason to the evolution of the soul that too, for me, added meaning to while we're here. So any aspect of that you'd like to speak to, I'd love to hear.
Yeah, in Buddhism, being reincarnated is an automatic process, and you have to do something to stop it. Otherwise, you'll just keep coming back. And cycling, you'll come back as a human, you'll come back as an animal, you'll come back as a vegetable, and go through it again and again and again.
Right.
You come back only because you have more to accomplish that you didn't finish in one lifetime, so you're given another chance. There are mitzvahs that only women do, there are mitzvahs that only men do. At least once, every soul has to be a woman.
Really? Wow. That I didn't know, Rabbi.
So somebody asked me, wouldn't you like to be a woman? I said, done that. Been there.
Wow. Wow.
So that way you get to do all 613 mitzvot.
Wow.
But you don't just automatically come back. There's a court in heaven, and the court assesses how much you accomplished, how much you were supposed to accomplish, whether you can accomplish it if you're given another chance. And if yes, then you come back and you finish your job.
Wow.
So even great holy souls come back because there's more they can do. So it's not a punishment. Now, ultimately, every body, every physical body that performed mitzvahs, with the soul, of course, deserves 80% of the reward. Because every mitzvah you can think of, it's the body that's doing it.
Wow.
A soul can't eat matzah on Pesach. Only the body can do that.
Right.
A soul can't light Shabbos candles. Certainly can't go to the mikveh. So it's the body that should get the bulk of the reward. And yet we're told that when you die, your soul goes to heaven and it gets rewarded. And your body? Put it away. No. You preserve the body because the soul is coming back to that body. Because that body is going to get its reward.
Wow.
So yes, it decomposes, but that's temporary. So the soul never really loses its affection to its body. And that's why if you go to Israel, for example, what is one of the most favorite and popular sites? Hebron, where our ancestors, our matriarchs and patriarchs are buried. You know how long they've been buried? And you go into where their bodies are? Come on, the bodies are gone. No, they're not.
Wow.
And if you want to get to the soul hangs around its body forever. It will never give up on its body.
Wow.
So that is called resurrection. So if I have been here 3 times, I have had 3 different lives, means I have 3 different bodies. I want them all. And they all deserve to be rewarded. When will they be rewarded? When after Mashiach comes, all the bodies will get back out of their graves, have their souls back, and then be rewarded appropriately. That's why we are so careful with the body. So what is chibut hakever? The beating of the grave? The soul grieves every time another part of the body decomposes.
Wow.
It's not the body that's suffering,
Right.
but the soul watching the body go, painful. It's been done many times when they dug up the body of a very holy person. 100 years later, no decomposition.
Wow.
But just like a body can decompose, it can also recompose. That's called resurrection of the dead.
Wow.
These bones will live again. So the conviction that we've always had and never questioned. Life is short, right? How often have you heard, life is short, life is fragile. Before you know it, it's gone. Be careful, don't waste time.
That's morbid.
And it's not true. Life is forever, death is temporary. When the soul leaves the body, it does not change its character. So here's a very important distinction between Judaism and Christianity. Christianity says if you make it to heaven, you will be an angel. All angels are the same. You've seen one, you've seen them all. Right? You're an angel.
Right.
You look like every other angel, you feel like every other angel. When your soul leaves the body, it does not change its personality. So if your father was a rigid person with no sense of humor, don't make jokes about him even now. He has no sense of humor.
Wow.
If he was a jolly, funny guy, live it up. Because he's still that way.
Right.
What's even more significant, God forbid a child dies. That soul let's say a 6-year-old, that soul is 6 years old
Forever.
until it comes back. A 6-year-old needs its mother. If you stop being its mother, it hurts. So it's not that you become a generic something, you remain yourself. And part of that is you remain enamored with your body.